Marla Maples, the former wife of Donald Trump, has been a figure in the public eye for decades, often reduced to a footnote in the story of the Trump family. But in a recent unfiltered interview, Marla opened up about her past in ways that no one could have predicted. Her raw honesty, emotional depth, and courage to speak her truth have stunned audiences, as she revealed the untold side of her life, a side that has often been overlooked or misunderstood. The interview, which was meant to be a casual discussion about Marla's life post-divorce and her involvement in various philanthropic efforts, took a dramatic turn when she began to speak candidly about her past. The first shocking revelation came when Marla discussed the impact of her highly publicized marriage to Donald Trump and the media frenzy that followed. For years, the media painted Marla as just another woman in Trump's long list of relationships, someone who didn't fit into the narrative they were eager to create. But Marla revealed that this portrayal had been deeply painful for her. "The hardest part of it all," Marla said, her voice steady but filled with emotion, "was not the marriage itself, but the way it was used to define me. I was constantly judged for being married to him, but no one ever bothered to understand me or the struggles I faced. I became this symbol, this caricature, when all I wanted was to be seen as a person, as a woman with my own identity and goals." As she spoke about her marriage to Trump, she went on to describe the emotional toll it took on her. "I was constantly under the microscope. Everything about my life was being judged. My choices, my style, my every move," she recalled. "It was like living in a glass house, where every stone was being thrown at you, but you could never fight back without being vilified. It was exhausting. But I had to stay strong for myself, for my daughter, Tiffany." But perhaps the most shocking moment of the interview came when Marla addressed the way she had been treated by the public after her divorce from Trump. The media, she said, had made it seem like she was nothing more than a woman left behind, someone who had been forgotten. "They didn't just forget me, they erased me," Marla said. "I became invisible to the world. People didn't care to know who I was outside of my marriage. They didn't care about what I had achieved, what I had worked for, or what I believed in. I was just Trump's ex-wife. And for years, I let that be my identity." This revelation was powerful because it spoke to the pain of being reduced to a single story, a label that doesn't define a person's worth. But Marla's next words would leave the audience speechless. In a moment of raw honesty, she admitted that, for years, she had allowed herself to be defined by others, and it had taken a toll on her mental and emotional health. "I thought I needed their approval. I thought I had to be what everyone wanted me to be. But now, looking back, I see how wrong I was. I didn't need their approval. I needed my own." It was this self-realization, this moment of clarity, that led to Marla's most shocking statement. "I spent years trying to please others, trying to fit into a mold that wasn't made for me. I've spent a lifetime being judged, and at one point, I let that define who I was. But no more. I'm not here to be defined by someone else's perception of me. I'm not just a divorcee or a mother. I'm Marla Maples, and I've spent too long hiding behind labels." The room fell silent as Marla spoke these words, her voice filled with newfound strength and empowerment. She continued, speaking of how she had struggled with identity and self-worth in the years following her divorce. "I tried to rebuild my life after the divorce, but I felt lost. The world had already decided who I was, and it was hard to shake off the image that had been created for me. But the truth is, I wasn't just a wife or an ex-wife. I had dreams, passions, and things I wanted to accomplish. It took me a long time to realize that I had the power to define myself, and not the media, not anyone else." What followed was even more shocking. Marla opened up about a side of her life that she had never publicly discussed before, her struggles with mental health. "For so long, I tried to keep it all together. I thought if I just smiled and played the part, everything would be okay. But inside, I was breaking. I had to go through years of therapy, years of finding myself again," Marla admitted, her eyes brimming with tears. "There were days when I didn't want to get out of bed. I felt like I was drowning in a world that didn't care about who I really was. I felt invisible, lost in the noise of other people's opinions." This moment was incredibly raw, and it resonated deeply with viewers. Marla wasn't just speaking about the challenges of being a public figure or the pain of divorce. She was speaking about the personal, internal struggles that so many people face but often don't talk about. It was a vulnerable, brave admission that humanized her and made her story even more compelling. However, Marla didn't stop there. After discussing her battles, she spoke of how she emerged stronger from the experience. "I learned that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to struggle. But what's important is that you don't let those struggles define you. I chose to get better. I chose to rebuild my life. And now I'm doing what I've always dreamed of doing. I'm sharing my story because I know there are other women out there who feel the way I did, who feel like they're not enough. But you are enough. And I am enough." This final statement was not only powerful, but incredibly inspiring. Marla's journey from being the ex-wife of a famous businessman to reclaiming her own identity and strength was a story of resilience, growth, and self-discovery. In that moment, she showed the world that she was more than just a label or a past narrative. She was a woman who had found her voice, who had conquered her demons, and who was ready to step into the future unapologetically. As the interview wrapped up, the impact of Marla's unfiltered words was clear. The audience, which had been silent for much of the interview, erupted into applause. For the first time in a long time, Marla Maples was truly seen for who she was. Not just as someone's ex-wife, but as a powerful, independent woman who had taken control of her own narrative. The interview quickly went viral, with viewers praising Marla for her bravery and honesty. People from all walks of life, especially women, resonated with her words, and the conversation around self-worth, mental health, and reclaiming your identity became a trending topic. Marla Maples' unfiltered words on her past have left the world in awe. Her journey is a testament to the power of self-acceptance, personal growth, and the importance of defining your own worth, regardless of what others think. It's a message that many of us need to hear, and a reminder that we all have the power to rewrite our own stories. What do you think of Marla's unfiltered words on her past? Have you ever felt the pressure of being defined by others? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on Marla's inspiring journey.